Okay, yeah. Right out of the chute this morning. It's final day, Friday. Been a long 5 days. Not so much during the show here. It's the rest of the day. Each day this week has been a chore. I want to repeat what I've muttered under my breath this week many times. I'm too old for this kind of laborious stuff. Right now, I'm going to admit something that you should never tell anyone that was uttered by me. After unloading most of a trailer loaded with gravel,
Mm.
is over a half ton there. Yesterday afternoon, 100% by hand, one shovel full at a time. I was much less winded at the end of the day than I was when it started.
Huh.
I was building up strength in my lungs. By the end of the day at 5:30, I just put the shovel down because it was knocking time, what we used to call knocking time, knocking off. Right now, done. Told Robbie that I had all day Friday, that's today, to do about half an hour's worth of work to finish unloading the stuff, and I may drag it out all day long. One shovel full, sit down, take a break. Another shovel full, sit down, take a break. That's the way I like to do it. Finally found a chair that was comfortable enough. I found a few chairs so we could give away. God, I used to be able to get out of them, but they're built for short people.
Yeah. Most chairs are.
Oh my God, they're built for runts, literally. I mean, little kids or something. It's when your knees have to be bent to sit in a chair at an upward angle of 30 degrees, trying to get out of said chair when it's one of those little flimsy canvas chairs that you carry to the beaches and stuff, it can go one way or the other. The best thing to do is just go ahead and fall on the ground and starts trying to stand up at that time. So anyway, I did feel a lot better after during the latter part of that operation yesterday because I was breathing actually what some of us, most of us, and the doctors we've had in try to encourage you to do. Breathe deeply into your lungs every day and exhale. Exhale everything that's in your lungs because otherwise about a third of your lungs have nothing but stagnant air in the bottom of them. It never gets changed out. And so you're dealing with old, ugly, stinky, messy air in the bottom of your lungs.
I do it during the 5K every day and then at the end of the night.
You do a 5K every day?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is wrong with you? It was a good tire yesterday, and I don't want to have to do it again ever, but physically, other than the expected aches and pains, oh yeah, I'm pretty good to go. I like it. I'm Rayford Brown, and this is Live and Local Real Talk, and it's a two-way radio show. Two-way show. Y'all know what that means? I talk, you talk, and then y'all. All right? So from my faithful partners in crime, what are my rewards for not opening up today with crappy news from everywhere around the globe? Okay, your turn.
I want to say Cheerful Friday, and I'm very proud of what you did yesterday with the gravel, with the wood.
Well, Maverick, I'll tell you more about Maverick one day, but I'm going to bring him in here one of these days. He's a cool guy, and he, his dad, the company, they did all that stuff while we were on the air yesterday, knocking it down. And then he cleaned it all up yesterday. I got a pile of wood out there. I will be cutting because I told him I will cut it. I'll cut it into since I got a chainsaw that works now, and I love to use a chainsaw. I'll cut it into the lengths that we use and let all that stuff dry out for next winter.
Well, I'm Chris Marks, by the way.
Yep.
In TGIF, I'm Lee Barrows.
Mm-hmm.
Ready and rooting and hollering for the weekend.
Rootin' tootin'.
Rootin' tootin'.
Generally,
I get to go to a tractor pull tonight. I'm just, yeah.
Have you ever pulled a tractor?
No.
Have you ever driven a tractor?
No. I have a lawn tractor, but that's about as
not
big
a
as
lawn.
I know
that's
that,
not a tractor.
Rayford.
I've got one
But
of
it's
those.
called a lawn tractor,
I
so
know.
technically I've ridden a tractor.
You,
Why you want to make everything different? I've been on a lawn tractor. Little one.
Uh-huh. Have
No,
fun
I've
tonight.
never been on a big tractor, Rayford. Never.
oh, okay.
But how do you pull a tractor? Does a tractor pull a tractor, or does a truck get out there and pull it?
Yeah,
What
you-
is
you-
a tractor
You pull it.
You pull it. They have a harness around you.
Oh no!
Just like those firefighters that pull fire trucks
Mm-mm.
and stuff.
Mm-mm.
You know?
Yeah.
Not happy. Well,
There'll be two of you, one on each side.
no, there
The
will
harnesses,
not be
kinda
two
like
of you.
Kind of like a mule team.
Yeah.
Lee will be working a booth.
Okay.
Lee is not pulling
Ah.
tractors.
You doing the kissing booth again this year?
No kissing booth.
Did you hear the way she said?
No.
No. Sort of sad.
It's a political thing.
Oh, no kissing allowed
But-
in politics.
Well, how often?
Well, there's a lot of kissing in
I'm going
politics.
to tell you, there's a lot of kissing.
There's a
goes
lot
on
of kissing in
politics.
politics,
Yeah.
but not necessarily the lips.
How far back did kissing babies go with politicians?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Really? I don't know.
I'm sure Washington did not do it.
Um,
Adams, Jefferson, nah, probably somewhere in the 1800s,
Yeah.
1860s, 70s.
and then it
I would
got
guess.
perfected by Clinton, and
And then we got to be the hair sniffing.
How do we always do this?
I never forget that. Oh Lord, have mercy.
I'm going to ask. According to George W. Bush Presidential Library and Museum Director Alan Lowe, who researched the subject for the institution's New Path to Presidency exhibit, the earliest recorded instance of a politician puckering up dates back to 1833 when President Andrew Jackson toured New Jersey. And
He
here,
kissed a Yankee.
now, this is Wikipedia. Baby kissing is a practice in which politicians and candidates campaigning for office kiss babies in order to garner public support. But it says it's commonly done along with shaking hands. So you kiss the baby and you shake his hand.
I wonder. No,
How do we get into this stuff?
I
This is
don't
crazy.
have a clue.
because you said you weren't going to pull a tractor, you were going to go to a kissing booth.
I just said I was working a booth.
No,
I said nothing about kissing.
I was kind of busy last night when you checked in, and I was busy to
Yeah.
you came in and
Yes.
checked in too. It's just got other things to do. But you got to make that same trip again next week, right? You got to get over there.
Where I went last
You gotta
night,
go
I have to
twice.
Yeah.
Once is great, twice is good.
There was
Right?
a kind of a mess up on the schedule. And
Oh, so that's the reason you got to go back.
yes,
'cause
it's
you
actually
went the
next
wrong
week,
time.
not last night.
You went the wrong day.
Yes, I did.
You know, you go
It's a nice
to
drive.
other schools areas, Clinton, Dark Horses.
Clinton last night.
You become a dark horse fan.
No, but I did find an easier way to get to the East Duplin Stadium, Rayford, than the way we all went that night when we went all the way up to New Bern and all the back roads. I found a much faster, easier
We
way.
went to Clinton.
No, we went to Duplin that night. Remember the ball game East Duplin? Because I
Yeah.
pass that a lot.
Hey,
Um,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I found an easier
I thought
way.
we were talking about Clinton.
No, but I changed it to East Duplin.
Okay.
You
But you
gotta
went to
keep
New
up.
Bern.
Yeah, that's the way we went that night via New Bern.
To East Duplin.
I
Don't ask.
I don't think so.
No, we went up that way. We went north. And that's remember that was the night y'all were waiting for me to come here, and I figured you were coming to my house to pick me up because I generally take 258-24. And so I ran over here and y'all went up this other way, which was back roads and well, anyway, I found the easiest way to get to it. When we go this coming year to beat the Panthers.
Okay.
Yes, I've got to hold on a minute and hopefully the volume is not.
Anybody have anything you would like to talk about today with substance? 910-333-0139. 910-333-0139. Got it?
Oh,
Or
shit.
without substance.
Or without substance, just traditional. I'm sleepy.
Well,
You worked
darn
hard
it.
yesterday.
I have a story that does make my blood boil. So I guess I may as well do it, right?
Sure.
Do YouTube on my
And
phone.
while I was relieving a lot of stress and tension yesterday, I was thinking of a few things I could do with a half ton of gravel on my trailer that I was messing with.
I know. You could put it down there on Court Street.
I heard I would need some cement to go with it, or
Start
whatever
that.
I do. I heard a few tidbits about some things that a traitor to the United States, a person who absolutely needs one 240 grain hunk of lead delivered to the back of her head. Ex Air Force intelligence specialist Monica Witt, who is also an Air Force special agent for the Office of Special Investigations, who served active duty from 1997 to 2008, then working as a special guest of Tehran. That's where she went. She was a government contractor until 2010. She went rogue, then defected to Iran in 2013. She defected.
Uh-huh.
That's called a traitor. Any way you cut it. Traitor Witt provided information to that rogue nation's government, placing sensitive and classified U.S. national defense information and programs at risk. That's the way a federal indictment is reading. We haven't been able to lay hands on Ms. Witt, so the FBI is now offering $200,000 in cash to anyone supplying information leading to her apprehension. It does not say wanted dead or alive, but I'm assuming it would be okay. Maybe we should start shooting at Tehran again, doing away with the ceasefire, and then renegotiate another ceasefire that would involve them turning her over alive to the United States. A special organization will handle the arrangements. It's called the Central Intelligence Agency. Pretty sure they could find out a lot about stuff going on that we may not be aware of as yet. They're pretty efficient at interviewing traitors. The agency has a special interest in Witt because, according to sources and news releases, everything that I've already told you about her, she also provided our enemy, with information about personnel and their families stationed abroad, and conducted research on behalf of the Iranian regime to allow them to target her former colleagues in the U.S. government. She gave up names and addresses of individuals who are really way up the food chain, who are not known to anyone, quite often for their families don't even know. The wives may or may not know what they really do for a living.
Yeah.
I've known several of those. Children grow up totally unaware of what their daddy does, or mama, or sometimes both, in one case that I know. A friend of mine who retired here. So if you have information about Ms. Witt's whereabouts, but you're afraid for your own safety, which I can understand, hit me up. I'll be absolutely happy to act as a relay. You can even have the entire 200 grand. It'll be kind of like Crime Stoppers on steroids. Might even be able to get a little more money if it so happens that I wake up and I find her bound and gagged inside my garage. That's when I'll negotiate with our federal government as to how much money it's actually worth for her, and does she need all of her pieces. This this thing since 2013 has been giving up intel, not only intel, but she's been giving up people, individuals. This is a no trial necessary case, is all I can tell you. No need to do anything except get the information she's got out of her, and then she can peacefully move on.
I would let the families that she's exposed have a few minutes with her.
They don't want to be around her. They don't want to be they know too much possibility of being revealed.
Mm. Well, this is after they deliver her into your garage.
Oh, I understand that part, but they don't show up in places that you know about. I know of five of those people who live in I don't know any of their names. That's the funny thing, that live within range of me right here. There are half dozen people in this area that we look around and say, I know you.
Yeah.
But we don't. We know, but we don't,
It's amazing.
It can be a very safe place if everybody's is there.
I just, you take that oath.
Oh, it never goes away.
Yeah.
And she's taken it several times.
I said, lock her up.
Yeah, well, yeah, sort of, kind of, maybe.
But where did you said $200,000 to find?
Yeah,
and find her, maybe return her or whatever.
parts
So
of
I'm
her.
curious what Iran gave her. Or Tehran.
I hope she doesn't have. Maybe maybe she could just turn herself in and get the money, and just take it and bail herself out of jail. Going to take a look up towards the deep blue sea today, all the way out to 60 nautical miles. Northwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, becoming westerly 5 to 10 this afternoon. Seas 2 to 4. 4 feet every 8 seconds. Not bad, but if you've got the right boat and the right skipper. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop, diminishing to a light chop this afternoon. Tomorrow, southwesterly winds 5 to 10, becoming southerly 10 to 15 in the afternoon. Seas 2 to 3. Sounds and rivers of light chop, increasing to a moderate chop by afternoon. Sunday, southwesterly winds 5 to 10. Nice day. Saturday and Sunday will be nice days to go do your thing in the ocean. Probably pretty much as far out as your boat will take you. Southwesterly winds on Sunday, light 5 to 10, seas 2 to 3 feet.
Today, sunny with a high near 76, northwest wind 5 to 9 miles per hour with gusts as high as 17. Tonight, clear with a low around 53. Saturday, sunny with a high near 81. And Sunday, sunny with a high near 89. No rain in sight, maybe some towards the end of next week. We'll see.
We need the rain.
We do.
I'd like to have another couple of days to get the stuff done here, get this greenhouse in place, and it doesn't. They don't have hurricane kits or anything with them, but they just steel and some stuff in it that you can see through. I think I'm gonna put some straps on it,
Yeah.
like those
Good
that
idea.
hold down mobile homes and stuff. I mean, they're a little ugly, perhaps, but better than that thing upside down.
Yeah.
So I'll probably going to do that, one on each end. That will help stabilize it.
Yep.
What y'all got going?
What have you got going? Well, I read yesterday where we have a big tire production company, Goodyear, is closing its doors next year in the state of North Carolina. So that's another industry that we're
It's going to be a
losing.
bad year. Are they moving? Where are they moving? No, are
Did
they-
not say. I did not catch the full story. I was
but
going to
they're-
look it up real quick.
They're not leaving.
They're leaving. Well, let me see. Let's see if I can get it while Chris
While
is going
Lee
to.
looks that up, we're a lot of people, I believe, are familiar with the name Buddy Hobbs here locally,
Mhm.
who opened up a studio. somewhat maybe motion picture or videos, things like that in Wilmington. I heard on a news story yesterday through one of the radio newscasts that he is moving his company to Kentucky.
Why?
Incentives,
Lower taxes.
lower taxes,
All right.
incentives, and lower taxes. And he goes, a lot more of them are going to be following.
I understand companies doing that. It's hard to say, oh, we just cut out them paying property taxes. Well, why? Why would we do that?
Well, this would be like New Hanover County. Is that where most of the
Film stuff
film
is
stuff
done,
is down?
Yeah.
The area.
And I know they got their taxes. They got some of it's kind of on the ridiculous side, always has been. But it's not that other counties in North Carolina don't have it in similar situations. But why do we want to have a company like that, a very viable company, back up and move? Is it really beneficial to him? More opportunities for him? If that's the case, go for it. But if it's just because of having to pay some property tax, if that's the way this state, our county, your county, anywhere in North Carolina, if that's their way of raising money and that's their only way, then it is somewhat fair. It's not completely fair in any county where you pay city taxes and county taxes. When you've got people coming in from the county using some of the same services that city taxpayers have to pay for. And they also have to pay county taxes. There is something, and Royce was talking about it the other day. There's something that's got to be done about that.
I agree. It's a messy subject all the way around.
It is.
And all of us get upset when our taxes go up, regardless of whether they need to or not. We still get upset.
And well, why do they need to? Is it because they've hired 3 extra people like they apparently had on the payroll? 3 administrators that should not have been there for how much? $500,000 a year? Is that what we were talking about?
Yes.
So there's a $500,000. There's a
for
$500,000 for those 3 individuals.
Right.
How long had we been? Was it padded?
I imagine you could go into any city or county's government and you can find something that probably doesn't need to be there, no matter where you go.
Now,
I imagine you probably could.
You know where we're going to notice most, as far as when somebody providing services, personnel, and providing services to us, are we going to notice when somebody at the top gets their head lopped off and they're gone? I mean, he's got a salary that's going to be multiple times over whatever the guy that's providing us the services, right?
Right.
So to get rid of the salary of one of those $500,000 divided by a third people, you'd have to get rid of a dozen workers that we see that do things directly for us, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to put if you've got to cut, that's not where you need to cut. County did it right this time. They don't need to be cutting the people at the bottom of the list. These are the people who actually do the work.
Well, let's talk about that. And I'm probably going to stir up a can of worms here. But on the subject, I wasn't there in negotiations, so I don't know the exact reasons, but was it not when our last county manager, our former county manager, David Smitherman, was hired? Was he not given a substantial raise on his salary as compared to Sharon, who was the county manager before him? Remember that?
Heard that, but I don't know that.
Well, he
Sharon
did.
Griffin came up through the ranks,
Right.
and she was doing a marvelous job by all reports. Unfortunately, she got fed up with the abuse of one individual, and who the county, other people on the county commission tried to stop, but it did not stop. So that the individual, according to her, was abusing her, and that makes it a hostile work environment. The county is lucky. I don't know what the statute of limitations are. I think it's 5 years. But under those conditions, the county is still subject to be sued.
Yeah.
You don't take care of a hostile work environment, then it can be problems. But how much can a county do to elected officials? Not much,
Well,
because they are elected. They're not hired. They're hired by the people, not by the government.
Well, we've all had opinions about decisions that county commissioners have made,
Yeah.
city council have made.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't like any of them.
and
I like the people. I don't like the.
and still we all can go back and start discussing and deliberating on downtown Jacksonville. There's this group that likes the new jail and courthouse and all that was built down there. Beautiful. And then there's a group saying, why didn't you move it elsewhere and develop downtown?
Okay.
There's still people arguing over Hines Farm, the equine country that was bought. There's still people that are very upset that the county bought that. And then there's people who make frequent use of that area. They go down and spend the nights in the cabins. They go fishing. They go out there for different, activities that absolutely love the place. So you're always going to have that group versus this group.
What's Robin Knapp's the county commissioner.
mhm.
Yes.
He's made decisions that I don't agree with. He's made decisions I agree with.
Yes.
He has voted in ways that I did not agree with. He's voted in ways that I do agree with.
Yes.
He voted against the Hines Farm project. But immediately, when the other 5 commissioners, all 5 of them voted for it, Robin, being
Was
much-
ostracized.
being much smarter than the average Joe, he said, you know what? The board voted it yes.
Yes.
I'm a member of the board. I am now going to support it.
That's right.
Otherwise, I would be basically, well, he didn't call it a traitor, but I would be.
Mhm.
I'll call it a traitor. He'd be a traitor. He's not supporting what the Board of County Commissioners did. It's not what he did. It's what the board did.
That's what the majority did. And I do agree. Whether you agree with the decision that's made, you're there to all work together.
Now,
And,
if you don't like it and you think you can get it changed or sold, what do you propose to do with it? You want to sell that piece of property?
Well, you'll make some
Yeah,
good
but
money
it's
off
going to
it.
be development,
Right.
and then you lose the part. So
That's right.
you scream and holler about we need this, we need this, we need this, we want that, yada yada yada. We need a place for Boy Scouts to come, which there's now a place if
Yes.
they want to do that. They've been looking at that was one of the
Jamborees,
plans, doing
yes.
a jamboree there,
Mhm.
which is a great thing to have.
Brings
First of
in
all,
tourists.
you got mom and daddy coming. They're going
Right.
to stay for it. They're not going to let the little kiddies leave. They want to be there to see what's
Right.
going on. And it's great for the kids. So that's a perfect location for them. They got an ideal place for it. If people want to take advantage of it, all they got to do is sell it.
Oh,
Not sell the property,
yes.
No.
but if they just got to sell what's available there, and they're doing it.
Mhm.
It hasn't reached its full potential yet, and it will. I don't know if they've got all the stuff done. They were going to put
No.
bathrooms in and stuff, so they've approved it. I don't know how far along it is, but
Well, they put the new park playground that's good for all children.
Mhm.
Those that have some special needs. There's rubber ground
Mm-hmm.
for it. They've got a bunch of things. They opened that up last year. I think part of it is, we've talked about it before, especially, Ray, for going back to your history in the news. You don't hear a lot of the good stories about it. It's the negative stories that are going to make the news. And so if you think back to it, there was the problem with EMS vehicles being able to get through from one end of the park to the other end of the park, which comes out into Burton Park, I believe. Rescue squads couldn't get back there if they were needed. There was the numerous repairs that had to be done on the cabins, fencing that had to be done, and that it wasn't being utilized as much as they thought it was going to be utilized. Maybe now it's starting to be utilized. And then, and plus the parties that were involved in the sale.
That was the biggest thing. People automatically jump to, something crooked's going on because it was a former senator who owned the property who sold it to the county at a reduced rate. So right away, there was all this speculation that there was pockets being padded and et cetera.
If he, knowing him, and he didn't need the money, but if he had wanted to make a killing, instead of the amount of money that was paid for it, he could have probably gotten in at least twice, if not 3 times that kind of money, by selling it to the first developer that came along. Developers love areas like that.
Maybe he sold it to him for a reduced rate because he loves this county, and maybe he did it because, who doesn't need the money? And whether you actually need it or not, you're going to take the more money. But maybe it's because he's been a part of this community for many years and he loves the community and he wanted to give back. Did we think about that? No. But you have that group. You've got this group over here that right away starts making accusations. And
without any facts, with no information, no real
and Rayford, that's the way
dirty minds.
It is on everything these days. It's just like the budget, the $1 billion budget, many $1 billion budget that is being debated in Congress that will upgrade security, et cetera, at the White House. And right away, everybody was saying, it's the taxpayers' dollars that are going to build a new ballroom. No, if you read the bill, that's not what it's about. But somebody sees something one way, they started, it spreads, and it gets out of control. And that's why, even when Biden was president and something came out, I had to sit down and do my research. There was a bill. I had to go look up the bill or read the bill. And it's so easy because you've got this side working against that side. And, right away when this side does something, this side over here is already, talking doo-doo. And it's back and forth. So it's just a crazy world that we live in now.
I don't want to just blame it all on Meta, Facebook, X, these things.
Right.
But I have noticed more and more that people, they don't express their own opinions. What they do is take these, what's it called? Occupancy, 98% or something. There are a lot of those that are anti-Trump, and they're posting all these things. And I'm like you, Lee. One, I won't respond to it for the most part, but I do the research first. I do the research first and go, okay, because the latest one is about the mayor of New York, and that he has cut $12 billion out of their budget without raising taxes, without doing any of this other stuff. Then you go and read a reliable source, if you want to call Time Magazine a reliable source.
It's another source, yes.
Yeah. And then they come out with the real truth. But by that point, someone has already posted this thing from one of the current administration saying it's no, this guy has done a miracle in New York. Well, he's done that miracle in New York. Why are they leaving? It said that he reduced their deficit by $12-something billion. already. Well, that's not what he's done. And what has happened is the governor has lent the city of New York, I believe, $124 billion.
Steve.
And I'm glad that Steve may know about this story. Maybe I've got some of the facts wrong, but I believe the post that was out there was inaccurate, but it's out there.
I have not read enough on it to be up to speed on it, but I guarantee you. Oh, Steve, how are you?
Good morning, guys. I didn't catch
Is
the
it-
end because I have to switch off from YouTube to call you.
Okay.
Sorry if I missed what you were talking about.
We're talking about Man Danny and his claims that he's reduced the budget in New York by $12 billion.
He's reduced the deficit already.
Deficit.
I got you. Yeah, I'd like to see the math on that. I mean, people make a lot of claims that, they have to come back and revise at later times.
Well, I think what the facts are, he really didn't do that because he had a handout from somebody else, and he used that money to pay off some of the debt.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. People get confused between deficit and debt
Yep.
sometimes. The deficit means that how much money you take in versus how much you owe, and the debt is strictly how much you owe. Yeah, my understanding anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if he raised taxes on some people, well, yeah, that reduces the deficit. I mean, but
I'm sorry, Steve. It may have been the
That's
debt.
right.
It may have been the debt, but that everything he did was without raising taxes, without doing anything harmful to the residents of New York that are leaving.
It's kind of hard to believe
Well,
that.
you can cut spending and also reduce the deficit. I mean, there's another way to go about it. But like I say, man, and when somebody claims numbers, typically they're going to look at it through rose-colored glasses, or they're going to be optimist about it instead of you get where I'm going.
Yeah, liars figure and figures lie.
Well, they're going to look at the rosy side of it. They're going, they're going to inflate the number the best they can in their favor, or deflate it with, whatever suits their purpose. But then when you have a third party look at it, sometimes they were a little over optimistic.
Yeah.
But I called this morning because I heard y'all talking about property taxes.
Yeah.
And that's something that hits home with me literally.
Mm-hmm.
Carter County went around and reassessed their properties last year, and they doubled my tax value.
I saw Carteret County. Yeah.
Right, essentially doubling my tax bill.
Wow.
And part of the reason behind that is because we got some retirees that are coming out here just paying stupid prices for property.
Yep.
The property right beside mine has a 33-year-old single-wide trailer with vinyl underpinning on a half-acre lot. Last year, or just a little over a year ago, my neighbor, one night drinking with his real estate friend, decided to put it on the market for $249,000. And when they got up the next morning, it was under contract. He wasn't even serious about selling the place, but he sold it for $250,000, and the woman paid cash. Finance company wouldn't touch it because the trailer was so old. Yeah. And so my taxes went up considerably. And the part that bothers me is that it's unrealized assets. It's just like them looking at me and saying, okay, well, over the next 10 years, you're going to make this much money working at your job, so we want you to pay income tax on that every year. Yeah. And then the other thing that irritates me is that some people pay these high taxes, and then the neighborhood over the next 10 years kind of falls in disrepair.
Mm-hmm.
And the actual value goes down, and you've been paying tax value for 10 years on something that ain't never going to get that money. Yeah. And it kind of seems very unfair. Yeah.
There are, where I live, Steve, in the county, they have built I want to say 6 new homes. You can open your window and shake hands with your neighbor. That's how close they're built together. They're 3-bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
3-bedroom homes. I think a 4-bedroom is
I
in
don't
there,
like that.
but the $330,000. You're on less than an acre of land.
Yes.
$330,000.
Yeah.
Over in Emerald, they got $1 million homes that you cannot get a riding lawnmower between the houses.
Oh,
I just
That's how close they are, man. I am not lying. I've personally gone through there and had to take a push mower to the backyard because you can't get a riding lawnmower between the houses.
Well, what's interesting is, I've seen some comments. There's a lot of them where people are using the same formula. Okay, I bought my house for $100,000. Now they tell me it's worth $465,000. I haven't done anything to it. My neighbors haven't changed. Yada yada yada. But it's quadrupled in what it's estimated to be worth. I can't sell it for that. And I understand when Royce was saying the other day that we had some people locally that did the appraisals, but I just find it hard to believe that we have staff enough to go to each area, each road, each street, and look at the houses and then figure out this is what the values of those homes are.
It's not like they just do it themselves. There is a big, there is a formula that they go by, that everybody goes by, that is used in North Carolina.
Right.
So,
That's right.
it's not like they just sit there and say, we're going to do this, but I do agree. And right now, that House Bill 1089 that is being discussed in the general legislature about doing a constitutional amendment that will require the state's legislature to set limits on how much local government can increase property taxes. Now they're talking about putting that as a referendum on the ballot in November.
Depends upon how that referendum is worded.
I mean,
If it's drafted in certain ways, it can be good, it can be bad. And a county is, I don't see why the price of everything should have to go up all the time, including salaries. But the price of yesterday, I haven't been to a burger place to get a burger in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I took a break yesterday and went to a place to get a Whopper.
Yeah.
2 of them, one for Robbie.
Oh,
one
you're
for
the
me.
new king.
We got 2 Whoppers and two
Tuesday.
orders of fries. Nothing else. That's it.
Mhm.
Almost $20,
Yes.
$19 or
Yes.
something.
Yeah.
Now, the burger, the thickness of the burger was 1/4 what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
That burger
Telling
is
you.
this thick.
The
It
rest is
used to be
piled with
this thick, and it tastes great.
garden.
It tastes great, Steve. But
So, Steve, so when you said yours,
Well, I want to share something with you right quick, Rayford. Is
Yeah.
if you go on Wednesdays, they got a throwback Wednesday where it's only $3.99 for a Whopper.
$3.99.
you did it on a Thursday.
Laugh.
thanks.
Well, wait a minute. According to the owner of Burger King, Rayford's the new king of
Why?
because all their other stuff worked because now the customer is the king.
They're going back to your way,
Yeah,
like it used to be.
yeah.
You sure there's not another play on words for this?
I just
I was going to say, while we're still on the property taxes, I wanted to say something else about that. Is that third-party company you were talking about that goes around and does all this?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's something that bothers me as well because
B2.
to continue to keep their contract, they even advertise that they will increase their county's revenue by so many percentage points. And so when they go out, they have a goal of increasing property taxes everywhere that they can.
it's,
And sometimes they might be fudging it a little bit to say this one's worth that or that one's worth the other. Other thing that irritates me is that you get no credit for all the repairs you're going to have to do on that property to keep it at that value.
Oh, you mean like the gravel and stuff that I put out yesterday? And all of that
New roof,
stuff?
or new heating and air.
Well, I had to do that last
or
year. Yeah.
If you had to call the plumber, or if you
Had to
a
do that
leak,
too.
you
Had a leak under
you
the
don't get no
house.
credit for that, And so It's not, that house might be worth that, but I've got to spend this much a year to keep it up. That should be deducted from my property value that I'm paying taxes on.
The thing is, oh, you're right. Let's put it this way. If I had not made those repairs, if that pump underneath the house is whatever extra high pressure pump that was put in that I didn't know anything about, before I bought this, it sprang a leak, and I was, my water bill was right. What? And my house was flooded underneath out of the pool. But if I had not repaired it, would they have devalued my house when the reevaluation team came around?
No.
They would not.
You're never going to go down.
No.
So, Steve, and of course, our studio is located in Onslow County.
Yep.
Steve, you're in Carteret County. Did you say yours doubled last year?
It doubled.
Yes, I remember.
My property value doubled.
Mm-hmm.
It went from almost doubled. It went from 110 to 210.
And you didn't do nothing.
I didn't do nothing.
Wow.
No, I ain't done. I haven't put a building or anything up here in over 15 years.
Maybe they saw your beautiful garden and figured it was worth doubling.
And here's another thing, guys. As I just had it reevaluated not too long ago, we had a house fire in 2013. And I went to the county and told them that, and they immediately devalued the property because half the house burned down. And I remodeled, rebuilt it, all that, got it all back right, and they had somebody the first of the following year come by here and reassess the value and put it right back up again. And so, that was not that long ago evaluation. It's only been 10 years, 13 years, and the property value is now that doubled. And I know it's because they look at properties that have sold, the ones on both sides of me.
That's what they say.
That's what they look at, is what property has sold for. And it's not realistic. It's just some of these people are paying just insane amounts of money.
So,
well, on my street, there's one house that's been sold in the last 40 years, maybe. There's only one house that's been sold. One house has been built 20 years ago. And that's the only one that's been built on the street. The others were here. What do you think about did you hear Royce the other day talking about a homestead bill, a homestead act?
Got it right here.
That, and I don't know how they're exactly worded, but the premise is that as long as you live in that house, the property value will not go up. Therefore, your taxes will not go up.
Yeah, it's House Bill 1181.
Unless they have to raise the tax rate.
Right. I agree with that 100%. What you paid for it should be what you pay taxes on it. And then the next person who owns it, they pay taxes on what they pay.
Correct.
And that, I understand, it's kind of like they're trying to raise money to pay for things in the county, and they're trying to find ways to do that without saying we raise the taxes.
So,
and this is their little 3-card money that they pull on everybody.
If you cut if you've got a certain number of dollars in value of the county, $1 billion of property, right? You got $1 billion of property, and your tax rate is 65 cents. If you cut your tax rate in half, exactly in half to 32.5, and you double the property value, you're paying the same amount of taxes.
Right. And that's the 3-card money part, is that they make you believe that they haven't raised taxes, but if you have to pay more in taxes, taxes got raised.
Tax rate is what they say they don't raise. They decrease it. Yeah, they decrease the tax rate, but the bottom dollar is the bottom dollar.
Well, here's a situation. I'm going to use a little parallel going back to my days at the cable industry that people are complaining about. So when we did evaluations of employees, you had 1 to 5. Okay, that to judge your employees. I asked HR, I said, why is there a 5 on there when I give somebody a 5, you take it off and you make it a 4? And when I ask you about that, you say nobody gets a 5 because they have to be God to get a 5.
Then
So
why
my
do
question-
you put it there?
Thank you.
That's
So,
stupid.
so in the same, so my parallel to that is this: people are told if you don't like your evaluation, you have
To sell it.
well, you can go through the process
You
of
can appeal it.
Appeal it.
Mhm, good luck.
So you appeal it once, then you appeal it twice, and then you go a third time. I've yet to hear one person that said they won their appeal, and they have to go out and buy or pay for the surveyor, the appraiser, whatever, to come out and appraise the house.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't have $500 laying around to do it these days.
They had $500 to pay the taxes with it.
I know a guy down here named Billy Norris. He owns a marine construction company, but he had property on the White Oak River, and it belonged to his family. He had, handed down for generations or
Right.
whatever. He had 2,600 feet of riverfront.
Oh,
waterfront
waterfront property. Oh, God,
The
help us.
property had always been taxed as farmland, and they came in and reevaluated it as resort property
Ooh.
with 2,600 foot of waterfront frontage.
Ooh.
And man, his taxes went insane, but he did have the money to hire a lawyer and went and fought it and got it put back as farmland, but he has to keep a chicken coop. He didn't actually want actually using it for farming, so now he has to keep a chicken coop and keep chickens on the property. to keep it as
Yeah, I
farming.
know that if it's listed as farmland, then you have to produce a certain percentage of something in order to
Right.
retain that farmland status.
Steve, did you say he had to hire an attorney?
He did.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So now you got the courts tied up listening to.
I will tell you how silly it got. And Land's End and Emerald Isle, they've got them $1 million homes stacked like trailers in a trailer park.
Yeah.
The assessment team went in there and they've got retention ponds inside of Land's End. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And it's for runoff. It doesn't connect to anything.
Oh, God, they didn't tax that as waterfront.
Waterfront property. Waterfront property is what they reassessed it as. And all them people got money to fight it. They went and fought it. They won. But it was going to double them $1 million homes. To say that they won the waterfront.
I'm gonna start renting out
But yeah,
rooms.
like I say, them companies that do that, man, it's like vultures. They're trying any way they can to try and raise your property value to raise those taxes. And
I'd like to know what the requirements were when our county or your county or any other county, when they go pick a team to run the evaluations, the reevaluations. Do they look at their history and say, "Oh yeah, they got higher property taxes over in this county. Oh no, their thing over here was lower or the same. There's no way they could get more money. Nah, we're not going to take them, but we'll take the guy that every time. I'll guarantee you that this team is increased property values pretty much every time.
They just
Anyway,
can't do what they want to do. I'm sure they have to
My
follow
understanding-
guidelines.
Yeah, my understanding
What's
is
the
the
guidelines?
third party company they use, that's their selling point, is how much
Right.
they've been able to increase tax revenue. in
Probably.
other counties.
So
That's part of their selling point. That's my understanding.
let me see.
That they,
Go ahead, Steve. I'm sorry.
I was going to say that's how they show their effectiveness and how they are valued to use them,
Okay.
and how much more it would cost for you to have your own team county per county.
So I understand a lot of times, and I appreciate our county commissioner serving and our city council people. It's a tough job.
Mhm.
I wouldn't want it, not for all the money they get, which is nothing. But what was curious is we have, Lee, you know the number off the top of your head, I think. How many county residents? 230?
213,000.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. So
We just had another one.
we just did?
213,001.
And
I
one.
heard the baby crying.
Well, surveys are sent out to ask citizens what needs do you think the county has?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just curious how many of those come back because they all say the same thing.
Recreation, places to do things.
Right.
We need this, we need that. Yeah. And that's one of the problems that a county commission or a city council, we, the people, we demand this and we demand that and we demand anybody ever said we need new pipes or we need new infrastructure? We need some stuff done on these surveys. They will say what affects them immediately. Potholes in this road's not wide enough. This road's too narrow. This whatever, and I need a place to go play baseball.
You know, and prices come up. I can understand they would be a dilemma that if, you know, everybody in your county is paying property taxes based on what the properties were worth 10 years ago, that's not going to give you the money you need to do what you need to do, you know. But, you know, at the same time, is it really fair to tax somebody on something they may never, a value never realized? You know, I'm really concerned about my property taxes going up again because less than a mile down the road from me, they're building an 800-acre RV park.
Oh, you're in trouble.
They've already broke ground. They've already cleared it. They're putting concrete pads in now. So, you know, I know that's going to raise the value of the property tremendously. But what do you do?
We have.
Well, it's interesting. One of our viewers, Thomas, was talking about a couple of things, and he went to a barbecue place, Rayford, kind of like your Burger King. I'm sorry, where you were the king, and Robbie was the queen. 2 sandwiches, half dozen hush puppies, and it took a big chunk of a $20 bill.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. And I tell you something else. The last thing I'll put on this is I'm 5 miles from the Carteret County line, Jones County line. When you go into Jones County, the tax rate drops considerably.
Yeah.
But the property values, maybe not the tax rate, but the property values drop considerably.
But the gas is higher.
5 miles down the road from me, you know.
Understand.
Yeah. Anyway, other than that, that was my rant for today, is that taxes, you know, I'm glad that we have money to do the things we do, but the way they raise them on us and make us pay on money that we don't really have is a little unfair.
It is concerning.
Yeah, it seems a little unfair. Like paying taxes on money I ain't earned yet. Yeah. But anyway, other than that, y'all have a blessed weekend.
Okay,
it's
gonna be
beautiful. Yep, man. Remember, the more you grow, the more you know.
There you go. I'm working on it just as hard as I can.
Real quick, the Senate, which is property tax reappraisal moratorium, thing filed on it right now was May 11th, where the Senate referred it to the Committee on Rules, Calendar, and Operations of the House. So it's gone to the House. My understanding is they're supposed to be voting on that really soon. So that's the bill to freeze the property taxes for this year and go with what was in 2025. So
Well,
that is different from the homestead bill.
Yeah.
I'm glad Steve stayed with us for this one. So if they freeze it for this year,
Please let them do it. I'm going to see what the House is doing.
okay, Rayford, you just said it.
We're going to pay more next year
Okay.
to make up for what they lost this year.
I was going to say, for me as an adult, I would ask the honest question is, how are they going to replace that revenue? Because they're going to have it from somewhere. You know,
If
so,
they,
you know, you got to have that along with this. You've got to figure out where the money's going to come from if it don't come from there.
Well, I don't know the exact figures because I haven't run them yet, but let's just say my property tax increased by $10,000, just a meager $10,000. They would supposedly, to make it revenue neutral, if it was $10,000 per piece of property across the county, and they reduce the tax rate to give them the same amount of money that they're currently getting, they won't reduce it to that. They'll reduce it to something less than that. Then they can say, we reduce property values when it comes time for an election. I reduce the tax rate. We reduce the tax rate.
Darn it.
Problem is, we're taxing you on more property. And here is something that I asked Royce also this week. Did we have any growth in the last 4 years since the last evaluation? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did. And we've been collecting taxes on that at the same tax rate we got now, but they're paying taxes. So therefore, there is more money in the coffers than it was 4 years ago.
But you have to play into that inflation and what the county's paying out in bills.
I understand that.
Right.
and 3 extra people up there for $500,000.
Well, they're trimming back, which is a good thing.
Well, that was 3 notable ones. So
Yes.
we'll see what else happens.
It's a good thing.
My whole thing is be honest. You know, if at the end of the year I've got to pay more in taxes, you raise taxes.
Yes.
I don't care how we got there. You know, if I got to pay more in taxes on my property this year than I did last year, taxes went up. You know,
Yep.
they try and pull that 3-card money where they're like, well, we didn't increase the rate, but we doubled your value. I thought, okay, you know, I mean, you could have just picked a number out of the air. Whatever you did, I got to pay more.
Yep.
Well, they talked to some homeowners who said they're getting ready to sell their houses if they can and move into an apartment or something because they just can't afford the continued increase. You know, people bought houses. My son Jordan lives in an apartment in Raleigh, and I keep saying you need to consider at some point buying the home because you'll get your tax.
Put your rent into the buying a piece of property. Yeah.
Right, and you have something to show for it. But now maybe you're not having anything to show for what you're able to deduct.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, living in an apartment doesn't look that bad.
It's not as bad as it used to be.
I've already had the conversation with my wife. We've lived in this same spot for 26 years, and I told her I ain't sure this is where the last house I want to live in before I die. You know,
I would like this to be, but for other reasons. But it's the problem is, God, even if I had to go somewhere, but the junk that we've accumulated, and it is, we've collected a lot of junk over the years.
Right.
Hers, mine, ours, and theirs.
But you're in that tough situation where you're double taxed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
Leave,
goodness
but
gracious.
Yeah, if somebody comes around and wants to give me like 350,000 when they put that RV park in, I might have to let them have it and roll on down the road somewhere.
I get calls, I get text messages, and I get emails from people say, "We would like to buy your property. We got a place, so we got somebody, a buyer. We got this, we got that."
I got one yesterday.
And I said, "Good, send me $5 million in cash and give me 60 days, $10 million, and you could give me an hour and a half, but give me 60 days to get out of it, and I will take the $5 million."
Yeah. I have people constantly sending me emails, sending me text messages, putting stuff in my mailbox about wanting to sell my home for me. And, you know, and of course I'm like 8 minutes from Emerald, you know, so for people in Raleigh and up around that area.
God, you're waterfront.
You're about
Maybe soon.
When a hurricane comes through.
Well, you are waterfront. Yeah. Just hope they don't reevaluate. Hopefully, they will never reevaluate when we have 31 inches of rain, because everyone in Oslo County will be waterfront.
But if you're,
I was going to say, I've had some hurricanes come through here that I was daggone near a houseboat.
Yep.
if you're on the sound side, are you waterfront?
Yes.
For me?
Yeah. Well, anybody see, but yeah.
If you live on the south side of a barrier island, yes, you are waterfront property.
Oh.
Yeah, even if it's the river.
Just walk out there and find out.
Yeah, all the way up to White Oak, all the way up New River. That's all waterfront property.
Yeah, and even though it's 2 feet of water some places.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I think of those properties. You go over the Emerald Isle Bridge, and you have those homes that are on the, before you get over the bridge, or before you start going over the bridge. There's homes right there on the Intercoastal Waterway.
Well, even if you lived at a lake, that would be waterfront.
Correct. Any body of water.
But I get what
is
you're
what
saying.
It's supposed to be. But the only thing that is excluded is retention ponds.
Well, back in the 50s, we used to joke about Florida. They had waterfront property at high tide, and it was they bought it, and other people would come in and look at the property at low tide. That's when the real estate people came through. Hey, let me show you this piece of property. Oh, that looks great. They buy it, and then they got waterfront property because the tide comes in.
I just want to let the county know my pond is dry. You know.
I went to Miami about 5-6 years ago, maybe or so,
and survived.
And, well, yeah, that was an experience for me. I'd never been to that big a city, but anyway, I come out of the motel one morning, and there's water puddled in the streets everywhere. And I asked the person, I was like, did it rain last night? They said, no, it's high tide. And they said every day the water comes up. In
There are places that, like in Carolina Beach, used to have that at high tide. What that lunar high tide shows up. Oh, that water.
They need to go ahead and move because they'll never live through a hurricane.
No.
Did it rain last night?
No.
But yeah, I blew me away. I mean, huge puddles. You know, some streets had 2-3 inches of water on them.
Well,
And,
down in Florida, they don't call that rainstorm. They call it an afternoon blessing.
Yeah. But they said the person I talked to who worked there said they have pumps that pump them, but they can't keep up. And that's why the streets flood like that a little bit. But by the end of the day, it was gone, and it was
Low tide, it went away.
It went low. When low tide came in or went out, it went away. So. All right, guys. I'll let y'all go.
Hi, Steve.
Appreciate your time.
Bye.
Y'all have a blessed day.
Just real quick on HB on Senate Bill 889 that the Senate approved, and now it's going to the House, and it's in the Rules Committee. Now the House wants to add changes to it, such as a constitutional levy limit. Their bill is 2 pages long and includes a proposed $20 fee for individuals taking the certification exam to become a county assessor. Who cares about all that? Let's just get 889 in, vote on that, put a moratorium on property tax increase. And then if the House wants to later do another bill to say, hey, we need to make, but no, they're going to hold this whole thing up because they want to add all this other stuff to the bill. And that's what aggravates me about bills.
Well, our governor yesterday asked comment about the budget and what has progressed. And his comment was, well, it's nice to see that we're going to start paying teachers.
Yes.
That's all he said.
Well, the thing about it is, though, I think that once they've got they've got the framework for everything, and now they're just fine tuning and discussing this and that. But I think that the governor will sign off. I feel confident that he's going to sign off on this. He'd be a fool if he didn't. More pay raises for teachers, pay raises for first responders,
all the police officers, state law enforcement.
I mean, there's so much there that is good in that bill. And with both sides pretty much getting along and shaking each other's hand, I'd say, hey, let's go for it. Because look how long it's taken us to get there.
I hate to be a doubting Thomas, but.
Yeah, he's not Roy Cooper. He's not Roy Cooper. Cooper has got the award for the most vetoed governor, but I don't think Stein is. We'll see. But right now, I'm putting my faith that he's going to say, okay, let's sign this and put it into action.
We'll see it done. Just bring it on. Bring it on.
Right. Oh, and going back to Goodyear, I've got the information on the Goodyear plant.
Yes.
It's a major economic blow to Cumberland County because Goodyear is the county's 5th largest employer. The Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company is in discussions to close by the end of 2027, which they announced yesterday they are closing. The closure of the more than 2.2 million square foot plant would leave 1,700 people without jobs.
That's going to hurt.
Yeah, and they said the company cited the need to strengthen its ability to compete in the current marketplace as the reason behind the decision. Said the tire industry is changing fast and Goodyear must change with it. As the only remaining U.S.-based tire manufacturer, we are committed to U.S. manufacturing in today's evolving market after extensive efforts to make Fayetteville, North Carolina facility competitive. Goodyear is in discussions to close it.
Where's Michelin made?
I don't know.
Oh,
Let's see. Where
is Michelin located? Headquarters.
All right.
Just curious.
United States, France, Canada, and Mexico.
So they're in the United
The
States?
main factory is located in France.
Yeah.
And they operate factories in 26 countries worldwide to meet the demand for their products. I'm going to tell you, I can see it now. A couple of years from now, somebody says, I need some Goodyears. Oh, sorry, can't get those.
I got another story
about
one, I think, a dimwit.
Oh, my gosh.
She's a member of the U.S. House of Representatives. She and another
dimwit
member decided to zip on down to Cuba.
Oh, no.
Let me do a little history because I've lived through a bunch of this. A country that's been super friendly lately with Russia, 60 years worth. They've been friends, close friends, allies. Also with Venezuela. About a dozen years or so with Venezuela. Probably longer than that because they had troops training in Cuba for a long, long time. Venezuela did. And they had them stationed there. They've decided this twosome to meet with the Cuban president, who is, by the way, going to be indicted and brought back to this country, hopefully, and tried. They met with the Cuban president, civic leaders, and other political leaders, political dissidents, and other government officials and foreign diplomats to discuss Cuba's problems with the United States. Apparently, this was done without the knowledge and certainly not the approval of the State Department and not likely the House of Representatives. Representative Pramila Jayapal of Washington State. That was the organizer of the trip. She was accompanied by Representative Jonathan Jackson of Illinois.
Jonathan.
She justified the taxpayer-funded trip as part of her job from the great state of Washington as a member of the U.S. House of Representatives, representing one little district in Washington State. So she's got the time, and there's not enough going on at home. She's got the time and the desire to go to Cuba while we're negotiating with them in another manner, and they didn't know she was doing it, and she went down there to talk to these people and say, y'all need some help from the United States. She was there to hear about Cuba's crisis beyond imagination, as she put it. They have a crisis beyond imagination. I don't care, do you? Look what they've done for us. Nothing, honey. Wonder if she's heard one word about the multiple crises beyond imagination impacting U.S. citizens across this entire country. We've got it. We got people protesting every day. We got people getting killed every day. Our sanctions on Cuba will stay in place until they can assure us in a way that we can trust them that there are no ties with our enemies, like Russia, in any way, especially Russia today. We've pretty well taken the reins on Venezuela. Russia in the 60s, y'all don't understand, don't remember, we had to blockade that entire country. We, the United States, blockaded Cuba, not because we were expecting an invasion from Cuba. However, there were Russian ships going into Cuba to offload missiles and rockets. Why is this important? Friends with Russia, that's one step. How about being friends with one of Russia's friends? The Iranians, Tehran. Would you like to have a missile sitting 90 miles away from Miami? Key West? Tehran, Iran does not have long distance. They don't have intercontinental ballistic missiles. They've got stuff, rockets, red glare, they can shoot it up and it comes down in some places. Sometimes it hits a target, sometimes it doesn't. They've got that now, short range stuff. They don't have the long range stuff. If they're in Cuba and they just want to send in some of their short range missiles that they've got plenty of and start shooting stuff into the United States like they do into Israel every day, is that what you want? Is that what Representative Jayapal out of Washington State, is that what she wants? You guys don't think this stuff through. Well, anyway, there's some talk about charging her with an offense, a federal offense. Treason would be one that comes to mind. It'll never get through, but I'd go ahead and go after it. What are they thinking?
These representatives?
Yeah, why are you going international I got lots of things around this house that need doing.
Mhm.
I don't have any other reason to go find somebody else with issues and help them instead.
I think it's because they have that luxury of being able to go where they want, when they want, at taxpayers.
Unlimited travel expenses, you
Yeah.
mean?
And then have the after effects of, these aren't representatives, but I know a lot of the CEOs caught flack for being with President Trump on Air Force One.
Oh, yeah.
But they were there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to make deals to have,
And they paid their way on that. They
Yeah.
paid for that as though over an airline ticket, right?
yes,
Okay.
that's what was reported. But the representatives that take these trips at taxpayers' expense
Mhm.
don't have anybody to answer to. I mean, guys,
It's
they
their,
answer to the voters, but
they don't remember this.
no.
When it comes time to go to the polls, they're going to vote for whoever's either in or whoever is the person that they really want. The majority will do that. Majority of them will just say, I know that guy. I think he's our current congressman. I'll check his name. That's the way they do it.
Wow. Just want to make a public service announcement. We've got Dancing Stars of Onslow County coming up in
Yep.
October. This is a yearly thing where it's a big fundraiser to raise money for the Onslow Victim Center.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big deal every year, and we've got different teams of people competing to be the best.
Yeah, they're
this year.
competing with each other.
That's right. And
That's
it's
good.
always fun. It's always fun. And we'll be having them all on the show as we get closer to that date. But I did want to make an announcement for Team Melissa and Team Marty. They are having a 5K run on May 30th at 8 a.m. at the Rustic Barn. If you go into events on Facebook, or you can go to Melissa Rose's Facebook page, they have the sign up there. You scan a bar and you can go in and sign up online.
Mm-hmm.
But you can run, walk, dance your way through the 5 miles,
Walk on your hands.
You have somebody pull you in a wagon, whatever it takes, but to be a part of this, the money that you raise in the registration fees goes towards victims of domestic violence here in Onslow County. So it's a very worthy cause. Other teams will be doing things, but right now, Melissa and Marty are doing this to raise money for their team, and it's well worth it. Now, if you go and you sign up before midnight tonight, you'll be sure to get a T-shirt that they will be giving away for this event. After midnight tonight, is the cutoff line for the T-shirts, but you still have plenty of time to sign up for this 5K run. So, if you sign up now, like I say, you're in line to get that free T-shirt.
Yep.
After that, then wear your own T-shirt.
Well, if I'm going
wear
to
a
an
T-shirt.
event, I want a
Right.
T-shirt. If I'm
Yes.
going to
Yeah.
an event.
Yes.
But and one of the things, and I hope Marty's listening. He can call and correct me on
I
this.
think it's joy.
But you're going to get squirted with chalk powder.
That's right. Explain that. Yeah.
So they want to call it paintballing and stuff, but it's actually chalk powder,
Mhm.
different colors. I did it one year for autism. It was so cool. You're running and as you go through along the route, these young Marines are sitting there with these plastic bottles and they're just waiting for you.
They're going to hit you.
And
with
they're going to powder you up.
They're going to try to evade them.
Can I get a team together and we'll just attack them with something like that? We'll
Anti-attack attack.
Yeah, we'll defend our
I think we should just come running out of the woods, Chris, and just get some silly string or whatever, and just
man, how cool.
the Marines that are out there trying to powder the runners. I think we should get them. That would be fun.
That'd be fun.
We have a caller.
Yes, we do.
Good morning. How are you?
To the world.
calling.
Yeah, she's got a different number than what she used to call in on.
I do?
Well,
Oh, baby, I just switched phones, but whatever.
that's why I didn't have you listed.
Was it? Oh, well, I'll talk to you about. I didn't realize that. Thank you. What? I need to back up to that state race mess.
Okay.
Well, what I've been reading, the teachers are very, very unhappy about what's going on with the raises. I think it's great that the people that are getting the raises or whatever. I'm glad for all of them that are. But the thing that bothers me is that for some reason the state does not like to recognize retirees that work for the state for just as many years, and they don't ever want to give us anything. It's like they feel we're just going to die soon. Why give us anything? I mean, it's like it's been years. I mean, I think we maybe have gotten a bonus or whatever, or maybe 3%, but it appears to me that the teachers and the retirees are the two main people that are very disappointed. The way they figured it out about teachers that have gone and got their masters, and newer teachers are getting better pay, or etc. There's a lot of different things going on, but it really bothers me. I mean, when some of us retire people for the state, technology was not like it was either. I mean, we had to really work hard. I mean, harder than at doing some things that are happen to be done today. But I'm just sort of disappointed, and they don't want to take care of us old people.
I'm going to ask Lee, because she has the faster fingers to type on who was getting raised. But Joy, I could have sworn that
right here.
that at the end when they were talking about all the people could have sworn I heard retirees down at the very bottom.
Yeah, they said something. Well, they said I've read something about 3% COLA. Well, I read a 3%, and then they haven't done anything really about the COLA. I read something about 3%, and then maybe a one-time bonus, but there's not really been I haven't seen, and I've been trying to read any confirmation. But the teachers are really upset. They're talking about what they have to go through, what they've done, especially the ones that have been there, and are still teaching for a long time. And I just don't. They got a tough job these days with these kids. I mean, they get spit on, they get slapped at, they get hurt. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm happy for the people that law enforcement, and I think they were complaining they're getting more than the teachers. Well, with law enforcement, they should. I mean, I shouldn't say should. I mean, I don't know how they're figuring all this out, but I just think they don't care about old people anymore, and I don't think Medicare does either. Because when you get old with Medicare, they don't want to take care of your eyes or your teeth or anything that you really need, and you're on a fixed income, and you can't take care of stuff.
Now, are you talking about a senior citizen that has retired from the state? Or are you talking about all senior citizens?
A senior citizen from the state.
All right. Now, because I know that they have proposed, what was it? State employees, let me see, on retired.
Go all the way down.
Yeah, 2.5% bonus for state retirees.
Yeah.
A bonus.
Right. Which I'll take it.
But I don't know. It's just, when you're on a fixed income for a lot of these people, it's not really, I mean, it's just not good. It's just not good.
Well,
I mean, and I don't know.
Well, I feel like this is a good start, though, and hopefully this will progress into future budgets. But right now, the General Assembly has agreed on a budget framework that includes an average 8% pay raise for teachers. And this is the largest increase in the state since 2006, at least 2006, right?
Maybe I might have misinterpreted it. It seems like it says 8%. really 8%.
Well, they
Somehow
have
they-
it broken down into different categories, like starting point,
Yeah.
new teachers with no prior experience would earn about $4,800 a month, which is a $700 a month increase. Veteran teachers, those with 15 to 24 years of experience, would see a 5.5% raise, while those with more than 16 years would receive an additional $1,000 bonus. And the highest
Yeah.
earners are teachers with 25 years plus experience who would earn about $5,900 per month. So,
So,
and all teachers would get a $500 bonus.
so the bonus, one-time shot bonus.
Yes.
Yes, and those with over 16 years would get an extra 1,000. That's on top of their pay
Of their
raises.
raise.
Right. So,
Yeah, I think in the beginning it sort of sounded like they were going to get an 8%, and then it started
all the
breaking
way
down.
across the board.
coming
Yeah,
out.
no, that's not what was in the budget framework. They're
Right.
looking at an 8% increase, in which everybody loves to hear that.
Sure.
But they're breaking it down and they're making it more like they're rewarding the ones that have been there forever, ever,
Right.
or have the year and the tenure in. And, but they still are looking out for the brand new ones too. They won't get as much, which I understand that. But I think this is a good start. Hang in there,
Yeah, I agree with
teachers.
that.
We're going to give you more money eventually.
But
But a lot of them are talking about quitting and have quit. I mean, have left teaching
Right.
because of the fact. And I mean, a teacher is a very important
Yes.
profession, but very, very, very for our children. And it's really sad if we can't pay them to do what needs to be done. I don't know. It's just let me ask you something about the lottery. Now, in the beginning, when the lottery started, was that not supposed to go to, in the beginning, to like education for the state?
It was
or
an education lottery,
yes,
right?
education lotteries.
And then
Supposed
but I don't think it didn't appear that, why do teachers have to buy their own supplies?
And I'm not sure, do they still receive supplements?
They
To do that?
were. They
They
did
were.
get supplements in Onslow
Yeah.
County at one time. I don't know whether they still do or not.
Well,
So-
I hear that I know several, and relatives that teachers, and they're always having to buy their own stuff or do little fundraisers to help stuff in their classrooms. And then I heard that, and I don't even know if this is true because I don't play the lottery, because I heard that they sold part of it out, or they did something with it and split it somehow where it's not really for the state, but something else has it now. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
So the revenue they're taking in is not all going to the state. It's
Yeah, correct. Didn't someone else I mean, it seems like that I wonder why they didn't use that and use it for education and for raises and for supplies and they said that a lot of it has to go for construction of new schools and all this kind of stuff, which is great
Right.
because we're needing it. I mean, we're needing it really bad. But if we didn't have that lottery, where would the money be coming from? I mean, there's just, I'm sorry, go ahead, Lee.
Now, originally, when this was set up in 2006, I think it was,
Mhm.
Yeah.
35% of lottery proceeds were required to go to education. So it was only 35%. But legislative changes in 2007 made this a guideline rather than a mandate, resulting in a decline in the percentage allocated to education. In fiscal year 23-24, the lottery generated $5.38 billion in sales, with $1.09 billion, $1.09 billion allocated to education programs, total of about 20.3 the total revenue.
So I'm going to read your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the other $4 billion?
That's what I was getting ready to ask. That was my next question.
That's why I read your mind.
All right, here's a lottery revenues distributed across four main areas. You got the prizes, the retailer commissions, the administrative costs. There's where it's at, the administrative costs, and earnings for education. And it covers 5 key areas: needs-based public school capital fund, public school building capital fund, public school repair and renovation fund, support for school operations, North Carolina pre-K program, scholarship reserve fund. So that's the main areas of where that
So school
money goes
systems, one of the biggest expenses is the school budget.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
but
so.
exactly.
And somewhere in there will be a place for lottery income. You can find out how much
Mhm.
Onslow County gets. Now, what do they do with it? I don't know. They could do it.
I don't either.
I don't think there are any restrictions. I
That's
don't
what
know.
I was wondering. I don't either. I mean, you're going to build a building with all these teachers say, I'm not teaching anymore. Who are you going to put in that building? I mean, you're going to get the newer teachers, which is great. And I know you've got to have that salary to bring. Well, that's
Yes, you do.
just anywhere in Onslow County. We are just low in paying in our area compared to a lot of other counties, even some smaller counties. Well,
Okay,
I
we
think
got a tax rate of $6.35 per $100. Right,
6 point how much?
No.
64%.
65 cents per $100.
Yeah.
65 cents per $100 of value of your property. So if your
Right.
property's worth $1,000, that's $6.50 that you owe
Gotcha.
that you owe the tax man.
Well, I know that the state employees, the SEANCE, are not happy with what's going on. I guess I don't know if they represent the retirees.
Well, they're generally unhappy because they want more and more and more.
right.
I don't know.
Well, I know we haven't gotten anything in years. I mean, hardly. I mean,
Mhm.
and then they raise your insurance, and then that takes
Oh,
it
yeah.
away. You see what I'm saying? I'm thinking, why even? I mean, and then it causes so much blah 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 crap. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
no, I definitely
Yeah.
know. When we get Peter Wright in here, I'm going to have more questions for him.
oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
I'll let you go.
What?
Oh,
No. He's not here today. I said when we do get him back in here, I'm going to have a lot of questions.
And I think, Joy, you're
Oh.
talking about the North Carolina Association of Educators who are voicing their concerns over their saying 8% is not competitive and still
Yes.
insufficient.
Yeah,
But
Yes,
yet the state, the General Assembly, the North Carolina General Assembly says that they feel like this pay raise is the largest in nearly 2 decades, aimed at boosting starting salaries to the top in the South. But education leaders feel different. They warn that it may not be enough to fully address retention and recruitment challenges. So
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that's
mhm.
yep.
You're always going to have that, and no matter what bill says, what the budget says, you're going to have
Right.
this group that says it's not enough. We want more. But I will say that what they're proposing now is huge. As far as it's going to cost the state about $528 million on this alone right here.
Doesn't
Which-
cost the state anything. It costs us.
What?
Okay,
let me rephrase that.
Billion.
They're talking about $528 million coming out of the fund that the taxpayers supply. Is that
Yep.
good, Rayford?
That's right. That's our
good,
money.
yes. Right, but
After they take their share of it, they
This
distribute it
is,
to other people.
this is big, and I understand we all want more. This is a great start compared to what it's been in the past. I mean, we're
Yeah.
talking 20 years it's taken to get this far.
I know. I mean, I think it, and I agree with you totally. But I know you're not going to. I know people are not. You're not going to please you. Everybody's going to always want more. But it just seems like I don't understand the thought processing with especially with the teachers and retirees.
Well,
I just don't. I can't comprehend and the. I understand why the LE. I mean, I understand about the other ones getting the higher raises.
Mhm.
I don't think that was broken down. I think that's just like an 8%, and they might be getting a bonus, but I'm not for sure. I mean, they give their lives. I mean,
The county
but
all gives the bonuses. They're called
With,
supplements.
Major law enforcement raises in this budget framework up to 20.3% for some officers.
Yes. Yes.
now and what bothers me, Joy, just FYI, law enforcement and insurance, when they retire after 30 years, they have no health insurance. They have to go out and buy their own health insurance.
Oh, I didn't realize. I'm glad you told me. No, I'm glad. I mean, I think they deserve a lot of money for what they have to do. I mean, they don't even really get enough for what they have to do. And I'm very happy that they are considering these people. But you got to do what you got to do. But it's just from what I've been reading on social media, I've not really seen maybe one or two people that are happy with what's going on.
Right.
And that's all. I'm just wanting to fuss and complain about them not wanting to give me the 3%.
Well, we like your fussing.
Yeah, we do. We love your opinion. And right now, it's the SBI and ALE officers would receive an average of 20.3% increase. State Highway Patrol officers 17.7, correctional officers 15.4, probation and parole officers 10.1.
If you do away with parole board, you don't have any parole officers to worry about.
Right.
Well, the thing is with the parole officers is they don't have enough to take care of the amount of parolees we have out there.
So
Hello?
But one good thing, I will
keep them in prison. You got plenty of guards there. Just keep them there.
One good thing coming out of this, if this all passes, is the personal income tax rate is going to drop. Right now, we're at currently 3.99, and they're talking about dropping it down to 3.49 in 2027, 3.24 in 2030, and 2.99 in 2033.
Good luck.
Like those old people be dead.
I know, I'm just thinking, I'll never see that.
Hey, I want my ching right now, but I'm on the
You need to.
How about paying it in advance for us? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what another thing they were complaining about is retroactive. I mean, a lot of the teachers are like, I'm sure you read that crazy stuff on social media, but a lot of them are very, I understand where they're coming from. But I just can't.
You can't do it.
It's a start. It's been 2006 since they last got anything. So it's a start, and we're going to hold on to hope that it's going to continue to build and build and build for them. Teachers are important.
I got to talk to Harry Brown, former senator, because at some point in time, well after 2006, the teachers got a pay raise across the board.
Right.
With an increase every year after that. So, because that was during his term.
Yeah.
His time.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
This is not the
I don't
first
know why
pay
they
raise.
don't do across the. I don't understand why they. I guess they have the I hate politics anyways, but I don't really know hardly much about it.
No,
But
this
some of the
doesn't
stuff
say they've never gotten an increase. They're saying it's the largest increase
It is the largest.
since 2006.
Well,
We're
just like
getting there,
correction
teachers.
officers.
Yep.
I know we are, but they're not saying that. It's now. I want it right now.
Amen. I understand. I'm right there with you.
And the frustration, especially this day and time.
We want to raise today.
It's just it's horrible in our schools. I mean, the kids. They are like they think they're I don't know what they think they are, but not all kids. I mean, there's some good kids out there, but the teachers have to take a lot of stuff and they don't get any support and the frustrations that they go through. I do some stuff remotely now from home because of the fear of going to a school. I mean, that's sad.
Well, I know.
I used to love to go to school. I mean, I didn't really learn much, but I like to go to school and see my friends.
Party animal.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Joy, before we hit weather, let me say this. One of our viewers mentioned that teachers aren't leaving just because of money, but just what you just said, the classroom behavior of the students. And the other night I had a meeting and I was at, and we were trying to recruit a teacher who's just beginning in special needs. And
Tough job.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when we talked to her and she's in the public school system right now, she said, if I do teach, I continue to teach in the public schools, it's going to be the younger ages because there's just no way I can handle middle and high school students.
I know. That's sad, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. It is.
That's where you
And
need.
you can't and you can't do anything about it. Not really. I mean, the way everything is now, there's really, I mean,
Nothing.
and lots of times principals don't back it up because they can't do but so much. And, you know, everybody wants to sue somebody. Sue, you know?
That's
So it's really sad. I hate it for our children and our teachers or anybody that works with our young people today. I mean, you can go even I don't know if you even see fights at football games when y'all go to those, but I even this past year has really been bad with high schools around the counties, not necessarily our county, but other counties that we've gone to. The fights that go on inside these basketball games, y'all, it's just horrible.
The referees will call the game and walk off the court and let them fight it.
Yes. But anyways, that's all I got to say for today.
Have a blessed weekend.
Well,
Y'all have a
thank
great
you.
weekend.
Don't
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Thanks. Well, she brings up
Let's go
some
to the
very
ocean.
valid
We
points.
put a lot of them.
Want to go offshore?
Let's go offshore.
Let's go way out.
I need to go for a fishing trip. Let's go.
So do I.
Mhm.
You know, I know where some bluefish are being caught. Some big ones.
Yeah.
You won't even get sick getting there.
Thank you.
Just downriver a little bit.
That's me.
I want to go. I like a friend. People blast bluefish. They say it's trash. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Up in New York, they
like
catch these things all the time and they eat them. And they go out there for that sport. First of all, they fight like the boogers. A 3-pound bluefish is like a 6-pound anything else. But they're good fighters. They're fun to catch. And if you go ahead and when you catch one, don't throw that thing on an ice box. Go ahead and fillet it out.
Yeah.
Save the head, save the carcass in a separate bag, but fillet your fish and put that on ice. Okay. Northwesterly winds offshore today, 10 to 15 knots, becoming westerly 5 to 10 this afternoon. Seas 2 to 4 feet. They're going to be 8 seconds apart. Not bad, but you still will need a good boat to get out there. Sounds and rivers only a moderate chop, and that's going to drop to a light chop this afternoon. That's good. Southwesterly winds tomorrow, 5 to 10, becoming southerly 10 to 15 in the afternoon. 2 to 3 footers, sounds and rivers, a light chop, increasing to a moderate chop in the afternoon. Sunday, southwesterly winds 5 to 10, seas 2 to 3 feet.
Today, sunny with a high near 76. Tonight, clear with a low around 53. Saturday, sunny with a high near 81. Sunday, sunny with a high near 89. Monday, sunny with a high near 90.
It'll be hot.
Sunny. I'm going to tell you, when I came in this morning and the sun was just coming up, there was not a cloud in the sky. And when that sun hit my windshield, I was blinded by the light.
There you
Yeah.
go.
It was bright.
Randy, one of our ham radio friends out there in the Southwest community, 46 degrees this morning at 5:30. That's what we woke up to in the neighborhood. 88% humidity. His humidity was down. Across the board, it was lower too. 29.99 inches of mercury. And everywhere it was clear and very little wind, if any. Nobody had any rain. Carol and Dale over there in River Bend checked in with 47 degrees and 83% humidity. I'm looking at, we got a dog coming in. And Joe in the borough, 51 degrees, 74% humidity, 29.97 inches mercury. He also got out of his truck out there in Emerald Isle, was walking around, called in. It was 54 degrees there and a little bit warmer. And he had about 29.98 inches of mercury. And he said it was beautiful and clear. Nothing up there in the sky. Had very light winds, 6 to 12 miles an hour, they said it. Emerald Isle. Bladen County, James checked in on his way to work, 44 degrees, kind of cloudy there, he said. Michael in Crew, Virginia, I never heard of it
Never,
either.
okay.
Crewe, Crewe, Virginia, 46 degrees. Well, over in the woodlands, right off Gum Branch
Yeah.
Road, we had Lee. It was 48 degrees there, 78% humidity. Not bad. Not too bad at all. 30.00 inches of mercury.
Go ahead. I got to tell you about Crewe, Virginia when you get done.
Yourself.
Just like that.
Cedar Point, Ward had 52 degrees, 72% humidity, 30.06 inches of mercury, and it was climbing at a northerly wind, on a nearly wind, about 5 to 8 miles per hour. Brian, also in the borough, 48.9 degrees, 65% humidity, 29.65 inches of mercury. Richard over in Jones County, 47 degrees, 82% humidity, 29.99 inches of mercury and falling, and winds are out of the northwest at 5 to 9. Up in Nova Scotia, it was 51 degrees, 29.70 inches of mercury, and they had a bit of a breeze out of the northeast.
Here you go. Crewe, Virginia is a town in Nottoway County, Virginia.
And where?
Nottoway County.
Not your way?
Not
Not
my way.
anybody's way?
Nottoway, that way.
Not away, that way.
Population.
Waterway.
The population, the 2020 census.
How much do they waterway?
Take a guess how much the population was.
327.
2,262.
Not that far off.
It was founded in 1888 as a central location to house steam locomotive repair shops for the Norfolk and Western Railroad.
Where did it get its name?
Where did it get its name?
But they have one sheriff's deputy car, like Mayberry. One sheriff, one deputy with one bullet.
How did Crewe? Maybe it's from the railroad crew.
Well, train, I guess we could still run through there. They had tracks.
Yeah, now it's the Norfolk Southern.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Crewe,
tracks
Virginia's
for it to
primary
run on?
purpose. The town's name was directly taken from Crewe, England, a major railway junction and industrial center in
Oh.
Cheshire.
Thank you. It was something.
Mm-hmm.
Want to mention, Rafer, I'm sorry. Want to mention that wearing my cards because
Go Cardinals.
the lacrosse team
I
plays
didn't
this
find one
afternoon.
this morning. I don't know where mine are. They're up
You were
there.
busy yesterday, so you couldn't.
Yeah.
You didn't
I
have time
have all mine are in the.
5 o'clock is the
It's orange.
boys lacrosse game. So
This is red.
go out and support
Yes.
the Cardinal lacrosse team.
I'm wearing my
5 o'clock.
250 anniversary of the United States shirt.
And it's orange.
And I also have my new phone cover now that also is America's 250th.
Oh, goody.
Oh, if you wanted to get technical, yours is more burgundy than red.
I knew that was going to come.
Yeah.
I didn't say
Anyway,
it was red.
did want to make mention that North Carolina flags, the governor ordered flags at half staff today in honor of National Peace Officers Memorial Day, which I forgot to do this morning when I left. But they'll go back up full staff at sunset tonight. So it's just for today.
Mine's kind of a strange flagpole. I don't have one I can pull up and down. I have to lower the whole flag pole. So do I need to? How do you do that on one where it's a fixed amount on top?
You don't have a pulley system on yours?
No.
You didn't get
So
one
you
with
have
that?
to take
No.
sections out.
You have
can
to
pick
just
it up.
take it, push it, and it
Mhm.
telescopes down, push it.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, that's different.
that is different.
It's
kind
Joy
of neat.
calling back.
It's kind of neat though.
It is, but that's what
Yeah.
causes that.
Well,
Joy.
that's
Joy's on the phone, not Joy your injury. Oops.
we gonna
Joy,
do
joy,
we
joy,
sing
joy,
it
joy.
again?
Is
Oh,
back.
you know what?
I know what. What away?
I just,
I know what away.
you were talking about flagpoles, and I was thinking something else, but about never mind.
Lee's poles.
Look, I was thinking about Marty and the domestic thing. I just thought of do.
What's that?
They need we need to have all the politicians that people do not like and put them in a dunking booth and throw things at them and take their anger out. And I bet you could raise a bunch of money in a Dunkin' booth with politicians.
Just bring very ripe tomatoes, overly ripe tomatoes. They will go through the bars with no problem whatsoever. They won't cause much damage, but they will never eat another tomato in their lives when that day is over. And then at that time, you can heat the water that all the tomato juice will fall in. You will have tomato soup. You got a great idea.
You think about, you can take your frustration out and really not hurt anybody. If you, let's say you don't like such and such on the city council or whatever, or the new chief of police or whomever or whatever, and to put them in a Dunkin' booth, but I bet you'd raise you some money.
You know what, Joy? If you did that in the summertime, they'd enjoy being dunked. So how about this one? The pie in the face.
I don't know about that.
Just do it.
That's a waste of a good pie.
No, not the whole pie, just the cream.
I believe that's too close. I think you need a cage around some of them. I believe they need a little bit of protection from the way some people talk about them. But that's a good idea. That would be great. If 25, 30 years ago, that would have been a great one. I had thought about a kissing booth, but nobody's going to do that anymore. But then I thought, oh man, put some politicians in a Dunkin' booth, go to some of these festival type. I don't know what you could do. Just set a day for it, maybe.
Yeah. Have you ever been in a kissing booth?
No. Have you?
No. Why?
Well, I nominate you to be the first one to be in there, and you can help Buddy. You can help. Well, nowadays you have to have a blood test before. You have to have a nurse there to draw the blood and test your blood and saliva.
A blood test to kiss somebody? I thought that was only when you got married.
Well, I'm talking.
That was way back.
Yeah, I know. I'm just talking about the way the diseases are nowadays. But I've always looked at them before, but I never did. But I thought that would be a good way to make some quick money to help those domestic, and also to get your frustration out.
One kiss for you, one kiss for me. That'll be $2, please.
I don't know. It could be fun being in a kissing booth. It depends. But what do you do when the frog
Brazil,
comes
you would
up?
like it.
In Brazil, yeah. What do you do if the frog comes up?
That's when you have a stand-in.
Then you get you a prince.
Break time.
You can get you a prince.
There you go, Joy. You do.
But the Dunkin' booth, you wouldn't have to worry. Hey.
We've done that several times in some of our functions that we've had in the past.
Do people like it?
Yeah, we had a county commissioner that we continuously dumped. Even to admit running up behind the thing and hitting it with my bare hand. Not that I would do that.
At our church, our priest was the number one target.
Yes. You see, you can rent those easy.
Yeah.
You can rent them
easy.
I know. Yeah. We did that quite a lot.
I'm thinking that's a good way to raise the money. That's just my thought processing. I don't know what I'm thinking about.
Put one out there in the front yard next to your kissing booth. Let's see what it does.
I'm going to go to the corner of Gum Branch. I let that happen anyway.
Right.
I'm going to go to the corner down there where that 2 and 4 lane begins and put me a booth up there and see if I can raise the money. Domestic violence.
I'll tell you what, you put it right there at Summersill Road during rush hour traffic, you'll make a killing.
Yes.
I know.
You'll make a killing. Those cars will sit there.
It does slow down long enough.
So trust me.
Joy, do you like the speed limit being dropped to 45 now all the way to wristbands? Have you?
Are you kidding me? I'm going to get a ticket. There's no doubt. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, I've been traveling that way a lot lately, and it has slowed the traffic down. Once you get out of city limits, but the rest of it has slowed it down tremendously.
Yes, it has. But look, Lee, have you seen everything that they're building before you get to the stoplight and those apartment houses?
Yes.
And then the right-hand side, all that stuff. Can you imagine what the traffic's going to be like?
Yes.
Then?
Yes.
it's gonna be fun.
Yes.
That
But
like
anyways, okay, kissing booth or dunking booth or something like
Do
that.
one of
Take 'em
each.
both.
Do one of each.
Do one of
you know?
each. Just don't get them confused when you're out there now.
Well, we can dunk and kiss, I guess.
yeah,
Dunk and kiss booth or something like that. I don't know.
Yes.
kiss first, dunk second.
Yeah. Watch out the germs. Y'all have a good
You too.
weekend.
Bye.
You
Take
too.
care.
Bye.
You too. Wow.
Lord.
Yes. Lord.
Lord of mercy, Lord of mercy, Lord of
Fun
mercy.
Friday.
Fun Friday.
You know, a lot of people. I've worked as a police officer in some small towns, right?
Mhm.
Back in Jacksonville, back in the day, there were 20, 22 cops
small.
total
Yeah.
in Jacksonville. Of course, the city limits was from the bridge,
Yeah.
to the what was then the Bell Fork Road and Gum Branch Road.
Mhm.
Half of the Bell Fork Road was in the county. Part of that was in the county. The jurisdiction was weird. Small towns, but things can happen in small towns.
Mhm.
Big city crimes can happen in small towns today. I know our chiefs all the time would try to emphasize that with new people. You just don't know who you're going to be stopping.
Mm-hmm.
Even Sheriff Andy Taylor knew all about things like that because bad
Otis.
people showed up in Mayberry,
Yep.
right?
But Otis
Well-
didn't drive.
In Beulaville, not that far away, over there in Duplin
Mhm.
County, not too many miles from the Onslow County line. Police stopped a car because they were suspicious of the occupants of the car. Hunches and suspicions pay off more often than people know about for cops. Well, these officers said the occupants were acting suspicious when they stopped them. Ended up having to call out a canine who sat down. He hit on some dope. So they then had probable cause to search the car. And guess what they found?
Yeah.
Some
Drugs.
drug paraphernalia.
Oh, yeah.
But that wasn't a biggie. They call that started a more intensive search.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get interested in this, so you need to pay attention.
He was a wanted man.
wanted.
Mm-mm.
They seized the paraphernalia. Then they found in the rest of the search fraudulent debit cards, a fake Florida driver's license, fake
Right.
business cards, and checks.
Oh,
A passenger gave a false name. Turned out his real name, Timothy Johnson, a probation absconder. Absconder means you didn't show up for your appointments as you're supposed to do. It also means a warrant will be issued for your arrest, as one was done. He had other problems as the investigation continued. Police say Johnson stole more than $53,000 from several victims as part of a scam. They say he used victims' identification cards, displaying his own photo to withdraw large amounts of cash from different banks. What was that bank problem you had? The investigation now involves agencies in South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. Johnson's chilling his heels right now under bonds totaling $250,000 secured. All in a day's work for small town cops here in North Carolina. If you've lost some money through withdrawals that you did not make at your bank,
Mhm.
you might want to contact the Beulaville Police Department. They're looking to file more charges against this guy if they find him committing more crimes. So, if you've checked your account and you know somebody stole it, you call the bank. Well, yeah, they'll notify their fraud department, but they also will not necessarily notify the people who have this guy in custody. Don't know whether he did it or not, but there's always the possibility.
yeah.
Well, I will tell you, I came through Beulaville last night and I don't know what was going on, but it had to be major because both of Beulaville's police cars, there are two that they
There are
have,
three.
where at the tobacco shop there on 24 as you're leaving with their lights on, and they had a canine. I'm like, wow, it must be really big. It's Beulahville, which is a nice town.
Yes,
honestly.
it is.
But did we talk about the Jacksonville woman that was arrested on May 11th for kidnapping?
No, we did not yet.
Did you? You've got that one?
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. She was accused of kidnapping and assaulting a pregnant woman during an incident on Monday.
And punching her in the stomach.
34-year-old Amy Fedorowski was arrested May 11th and is now facing multiple charges, including felony second-degree kidnapping, assault with a deadly weapon, assault on a pregnant woman, simple assault, and 3 counts of assault on a government official. She
Dummy.
tried biting the police officers.
Dummy.
Yes.
Tried to bite 3 cops who went to arrest her.
She allegedly restrained the victim without consent and held her at gunpoint.
Well, put her in a headlock.
She put her in a headlock and forced her down a hallway into another room while pointing a pistol at her. And the victim was pregnant at the time. During the incident, Fedorowski allegedly pushed on the victim's stomach while she was on the floor, causing pain. And police say another person was injured while trying to disarm Fedorowski during the altercation. But as police were trying to arrest her, she was trying to bite them.
That's a beatdown coming.
Anyway,
It sure
she's
been.
in the Onslow County Hotel with Albon.
She's supposed to appear before a judge, I think, today.
Yes.
That doesn't.
Yes.
Didn't she ever hear that it was take a bite out of crime, not out of the police?
Oh, Chris, that
Right.
was good.
Thank you.
Star of John Legato's novel, The Comey Game, has selected a Raleigh lawyer and friends to defend a trumped-up charge of threatening the President of the United States, which must be nothing more than a couple numbers whose meaning were maybe misunderstood, right? FBI Director James Comey is accused of posting an image he produced from seashells he found in the sand while soaking up Emerald Isle sun earlier this year. He posted the image of the shells, which indicated 8647, on one of his socialist pages. One news story I saw last night said that 86 was a number commonly used in the restaurant business, meaning get rid of or cancel an order. Have you ever heard that?
No.
That used in the restaurant business?
Nope.
86?
No, never.
No.
Never.
But this was a liberal-leaning media that did that.
Well,
More commonly, at least among folks who work and think in the world of criminals, is that 86 means to terminate, eliminate, get rid of, exterminate. You get that message, right?
right.
You know what all that means? You do away with them. Kill them. Not much of a doubt that ex-FBI Director Comey, who also served as a federal prosecutor at one time, is pretty familiar with that definition. Of course, the number 47 is now Donald Trump. He was 45.
Same maneuver.
Then there came a 46 in the middle of his second term, or before his second term. Then he became 47th. So he's the 45th and the 47th. When you serve 2 terms consecutively, you remain the same president.
Mhm.
But when you separate it and you run again, you get to have another number. So he's 45 and 47. It's not bad. So what, 112?
Well, you know, there's been a lot of protests over the last couple of years, and there was one taken on October 18th of this past year in Plattsburgh. Anyway, this was a North Carolina rally, and people were actually wearing T-shirts that said 8647 on it.
But every one of them is a threat.
Yes, I would think so. I mean, you're going to arrest James Comey for playing with seashells on the seashore by the sea.
Can he do that? Should you do that again?
Yes, I did. I think you need after these other people, not saying that Comey doesn't deserve it. He should have known better. A man in his position should have known better.
He should have.
And I don't see anything really coming out of it.
I don't either. No bookie reservations for
Mhm.
that event. scheduled for July 15th. That's probably not going to happen.
But just real quick, I wanted to bring up, Chris, you probably watched it, the committee hearing with Patel when he was before the committee earlier this week about his drinking
saw parts of
allegations. And you know how we talking about how we got the shouting and the yelling. And well, this one got you should have been there because I was like, what? But Senator Chris Van Hollen was questioning, he's a Democrat, and he was questioning Kash Patel about the allegations of his drinking and being drunk, saying you cannot perform those public duties if you're incapacitated. And there's reports that he was so drunk and hungover that the staff had to force entry into his house. This was all said by The Atlantic, which is a news media organization, which Patel is presently suing. But, oh my gosh, you had to see when Patel shot back at Van Hollen, talking about accusing the senator of slinging margaritas with a known felon. And he called him a gangbanger. The known felon is what he was referring to. And they continue to speak over each other. And then the senator asked Patel if he would take a test that is instituted in the military to measure whether a person has a drinking problem. Patel said, I'll take any test you're willing. You want me to? And the senator said, okay, let's go. And Patel was like, yeah, let's go. Let's go right now. Side by side. Let's go do it. And they continued this back and forth.
God.
And then Patel said to Holland, to the senator, the next time you run up a $7,000 bar tab, we can talk about it. And then Van Hollen shot back and saying that the dinner that they ran up the $7,000 bar tab was a dinner for 50 people and not paid for with money. And Van Hollen called Patel a disgrace. And let me tell you what, it was
Really?
just, and I'm like, you know, wow. I
Really?
mean, it got to be a shouting match. And Patel was just, oh, God. Whew. Oh, yeah.
Children at play.
This
Cheers.
and let me tell you, Chris can tell you, this was mild compared to some of the hearings that they've had over the past 6 months with other people. It's gotten so bad to where they're actually using curse words, the senators or the congressmen using bad ones.
I didn't even know they knew them.
Yeah, and yelling and screaming over top of each other. And I'm going, your tax dollars at work.
Just an embarrassment.
Your tax dollars at work.
Okay, our tax dollars are going to take a break. I'm going to go outside and do some shoveling after I go get something to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Get some rest.
I need a hamburger.
You
but
need
I
a
can't
nap
afford it now.
Get
first.
some
Oh,
rest.
I need a nap. I was worn out last night, and we had a special drill on the ham radio network last night, which I had 3 radios working at one time,
Oh, you do
And-
need a rest.
and I still had to put together a show for today, so I'm tired.
There you go.
Okay, we will see you on Monday morning, if not before.
Yep.
So if you got hands that fit a shovel, come on by. Or a rake. I got to rake all this stuff down, and I got to level it off. Anybody know how to level off gravel?
It's hard.
Yeah.
You have
Take a
2x4.
2x4. One on each end. Run it across. Level it
Little
out.
level
Put your
on it.
level on top.
Yep.
Yep. But you already knew that.
Yeah, so
So
we didn't tell you nothing you didn't know.
Okay, we'll see you on Monday morning. Hopefully, I'll have a level greenhouse here by that
Yeah.
time.
yeah, I've got to level my
It's on
shed.
the schedule at this time. You got to level your shed.
Yes, it's been there for years, and it slowly has sunk a little
Oh,
bit. So, got to get somebody to come help because it takes 2 people.
Hmm.
You have to lift it with your one on each side.
you're live and local Real Talk.
Where we're never woke.
We're always awake.
That's right.
Blessed weekend.
See you
Be
Monday.
safe.
Bye.